How's it going, everyone? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. As always, if you are new to the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button. If you are returning, as always, thank you so much. I love you guys so much for returning. So with that said, I'm going to go over what I have in front of me today. Something that I'm pretty sure at this point you all have seen, and which is Sakurai's comments regarding DLC. If you just so happen to miss the excitement, I guess you could say, with Sakurai's tweets, then I'll go ahead and just give you a taste of them. So this is the first tweet that I see. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC lineup is now complete. This time the selection was made entirely by Nintendo. I decided if we can create a fighter based on their selection, then come up with a plan. And then he continues in the next tweet. It's a great dream, or it's great to dream about your favorite character joining the battle, and I appreciate your passion, but please try to stay on topic when replying to tweets and refrain from flooding us and other users with requests when we are not specifically asking for feedback. Thank you. So I'm pretty sure you can piece together what Sakurai is basically saying in this tweet, and if you don't get it, then I'll be glad to say it for you. He's saying, shut the fuck up. Oh man, Nintendo, oh, you're not prone to make the best decisions, but what I'll try to do is I'll try to guesstimate exactly how they're going to make these decisions, and just I think I can use this to actually bring back my whole rank 'em and my rate their chances. I think it's a good way to bring that back, because I wanted to do more of those, but nobody was really watching them, so I just kind of put them on the back burner to do other things. But I would like to give it another shot again. I think it's pretty fun to do, kind of just go over the characters. But this time around, instead of approaching it with a fan perspective in mind, now we're gonna have to put on our business hats. So what they already have versus the rest to come. I'll do things like pros and cons and all that other good stuff. I was about to drop it, a swear word, which isn't a big deal. But anyways, you got to think about these things like data collection and profit sharing and strategic partnerships and all that. Who would the cons be for, like as far as them making their choices? You really got to think about who's making the selections at Nintendo. So the big wigs. Now for this big wigs, these are the heads. I'm not counting the chair, like the board of directors or anything. I don't think they decide Smash characters. I really don't. Although technically, if they knew what they were doing, they probably could bring more money into the franchise based on really solid picks. But hey, it is what it is. I don't think they play any part in it. If they're picking purely based off of business, or is there any level of heart involved, I'm not sure. Are they doing so more of like a Kimishima style, or are they picking more as like an Iwata style, which is Kimishima's awesome, but he's more of the straightforward, no nonsense, let's get this business, let's get this money kind of person, and Iwata's more of like the passionate, caring, you know, like I'm a gamer first before anything else. Gotta love Iwata. But let me be clear, both are awesome CEOs. I mean, Kimishima oversaw the Switch becoming the godlike console that it is, and Iwata set up the framework for what Nintendo is today. But yes, I'm using this just because I think they are big influences at Nintendo, or at least on Nintendo's current executives and culture. I mean, they were CEOs after all. But the big wigs picking, it's possible that Shintaro Furukawa, which is the newest CEO, I hate to say it, but I don't know enough about him to really think about how he would make choices at all. But at the same time, this will probably go for a lot of other people too, like Satoru Shibata. He's the former president of Nintendo of Europe, the current general manager of the marketing and licensing division at Nintendo. So basically he's in charge of the advertising and the global marketing there. And I think that, because I see, for business-wise, I see Smash Brothers as a marketing vehicle. I think gaming companies can use Smash Brothers as a vehicle to market like titles coming. Like that's really how I see it. It's a no-brainer. I think it's something that everybody should easily be able to see. To a slightly lesser degree, Kyoji Miyake, I think that's how you say that. He's the current CEO and chairman of Nintendo of Europe, and of course the Regimeister, Reggie Fils-Aimé, Reggie. He's like the third and current president of Nintendo of America. I think that's going to have a big influence there. To a lesser degree, the studios, like the studios that Nintendo owns, or at least the second party studios, I think they again, to a lesser degree, I think they have some level of influence on what characters get chosen. And then of course you've got third parties that also can affect what characters get chosen. As far as between the presidents, I mean, I could be wrong. It could be other people making the choices here. It's not set in stone that these have to, but from an outsider's perspective looking in, it's what makes the most sense. I mean, Nintendo's biggest sales are Nintendo of America, Nintendo of Europe, and, you know, just Nintendo in general, Japan. I mean, it reflects even in the Smash Battle when they mentioned that Bayonetta was the winner and how she was first in Europe and all that stuff. It's their biggest markets. I mean, it's the biggest markets for a lot of companies. It's your first world markets or whatever, but yeah, that's why to me, them making the choices, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, did they have a conference call to decide that they were going to do it together? I'm not sure. And who knows? It really could have been the board. It's anyone's guess when they say Nintendo chose. Like, it's such a vague statement, but I really feel like executives or people in marketing would have made the decisions, and, you know, it filters through Sakurai. It's possible that the studios, like I said, to a lesser degree, Retro Studios being one of them, Michael Kelbaugh, I think that's how you say his name. Monolith Software, which if you aren't familiar with them, they make like the Xenoblade games and all the other good stuff. Tetsuya Takahashi, I think he's like the lead producer at Monolith. Yasuyuki, I think, Hone is like the head of Monolith in Kyoto. One Up Studios, Gen Kaido, I think that's, boy, I'm sorry if I butcher any of these names. Like the president of Indie Cube, which I think out of all of these, they probably have like the least, since I don't think they really, I mean, I could be wrong. I'm sorry if I get this wrong, but I don't really think they do as much. Like your second parties though, Satoshi, the creator of Pokemon, Shigeru Miyamoto, of course, Shiggy up there. You know, I feel like he, considering the fact that Nintendo is primarily just like built on the back of Mario at this point, he easily has a ton of say. And of course, Masahiro Sakurai himself, and I think possibly, maybe to a degree, Masayoshi. I think he's the current head of HAL Laboratory. Possible. Toru Narahiro, I think that's how you say it. Well, I'm so sorry about these names. I'm so sorry about these names. These and other ones, like that one's the head of like the Fire Emblem series, which, as you guys know at this point, there's quite a bit of Fire Emblem representation here. And considering the fact that Three Houses is around the corner, you might want to buckle up your seatbelts. You're probably getting another Fire Emblem character. That's just what it is. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not in charge. I'm not in charge. Don't take your anger out and dislike this video. I'm just the messenger. And another thing too, I think further out from that inner circle, you have your third parties as well. Potential problems with third parties, speaking of, is the whole like a deal can't be reached. That could be like a big problem. Company relations could be another problem too. Is the IP that they decide to use as a DLC character, is it recognizable to the public? Is it owned by Nintendo? This one is mentioned because Nintendo, while not like they were years ago, really still likes to have control, as I expect for any company to actually want to have. You know, Another thing that they could do just to drive sales is pushing the wow factor. Take that into account when they're trying to figure out what they're going to use in their DLC. Tell you the truth, guys, I definitely don't think these 5 characters are going to be the last ones in any way, shape, or form. You can't, I mean, I understand there's way more characters than before, but that's primarily because they use a lot of the characters that were there once before. No question, as much money as DLC is printing for Nintendo, and again, shareholders, I don't doubt it at all that there's going to be like a season 2, to a lesser degree, maybe a season 3 of DLC. I mean, if they did it, I'd buy it. They could ink out easily, let's say if you bought the DLC now with the first season, it'd be like $85. So let's tack on another $25 for each one. So $25. What is that? So it's a $60 game. I'm actually doing some math in my head. So 60 and then 25, that's 85, and then it's like 105. And I literally, when it's all said and done, with like maybe extra stuff thrown in here and there, they could probably ink out about $130, maybe $40 per Smash copy, maybe. Not every single copy, of course, because not everybody's gonna want everything. But say if we gave it like we underestimated, like say for instance, everybody that buys DLC, it's under like, and we're going out like a couple of years, by the way. Mario Odyssey sold 9 million copies in like a couple of months. Now, Smash Brothers, let's think about this. Smash Brothers, easily by next holiday, 30 million copies. I guarantee it, because it's Smash Brothers. It's arguably the biggest it's the biggest game crossover, period. Like, there's nothing that comes even remotely close. Like PlayStation All-Stars tried to do, ooh, excuse me. PlayStation All-Stars even tried to touch that, not even in the same galaxy. There's nothing that comes close. So easily 20-30 million copies, because I mean, I'm going to buy all of it. It's just, you have my money already. Just like 1 million people bought like all of the DLC. Let's supremely undersell it here. Just 1 million people bought all the DLC. That's 1 million, like just in revenue alone. Yeah, you have to share split if there's any third parties, but 1 million people bought, you know, the full like $140 worth when it's almost said and done. I'm just saying almost, because I don't think it's done for a while. All the DLC, that's 1 million times like 100. That's a lot of money, and that's underselling it. That's saying that out of the 20-30 million copies, only 1 million people buy all the DLC, which no way. There's just no way. But I really want to lowball it to really give you an idea. That's a lot of money. That's so much extra money on the table. It's ridiculous. It's insane. So I doubt that it's going to end with the season 1 of DLC. Absolutely not. It's just, it prints money. It really does. It prints money. But one thing that I will say you also have to take into account, I am approaching this with more of a business mindset, but Nintendo, while a business, likes to make wacky decisions. Nintendo is like that. Nintendo's like that weird kid that stays to himself. He doesn't cheat off other people's tests, a la Nintendo Online, but he makes weird, kooky decisions like no cloud saves for Splatoon, the Wii U, the Virtual Boy, the